Do. Well. Good evening, everyone. It is what? Hot Topic Tuesday time. Thank you for joining me. I am your lovely host, me. We do have a guest. She's special, but I don't think she still need these intros anymore. But I do have someone joining me. I think you guys have come to enjoy her point of view on said topics that we find ourselves talking about. So, ladies, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to participate. Like, you guys got to come out the shadows now. I'm coming on here for all of us, but y'all got to come out the shadows and start participating. I guess I don't know what I'm about to do. I really don't know what I'm gonna do. And so as all my ding dings go off, I guess I'll turn my volumes off. Give you girls time enough to get in your cozy spots. And for you ladies who catch the replay, hello. I hate I didn't get to see you in real time, but you know how y'all do. Y'all be dragging. Go ahead and turn on your notifications. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to comment. And don't forget to participate. Okay? And when I come on and I be dropping those windows for you guys to tell me, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? That is not for me. That is for you. That is not for me. That is for you. I keep telling y'all, no topic is off subject. When I say no, I mean no. No topic. It's like any topic. We can talk about any topic. It's not off the table. It really doesn't bother me. You know, I think it would y'all be wanting, like, I don't know if I want to hear her say something about that. I think that's what it be. Y'all don't want me to get commentary, you know. But once again, don't forget to, and tell me where you're coming in from. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment, tell me where you're coming in from, and participate. Yes, those are the rules. And make sure you're in a cozy spot. Um, in the book club, we were kind of talking about a few possible topics, but we did not nail one particular thing down, and that is y'all's fault. So now y'all gonna get this freestyle. Now I have to freestyle because, well, you guys didn't follow the rules, but it's okay. So I'm gonna give everybody a minute, time enough to catch up and share. Yes, so that our hour together will be fruitful. Okay, so that our hour together would be fruitful. Come on, share, like, comment. And this is still a good time to throw in what you want to talk about. Okay, I got a little FH playing in the background. So if y'all hear a little music, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Amen. You did follow the rules, Miss Catherine. You did. Miss Catherine, won't you come on up? I am so sorry. I didn't even.
Thank you. No, you made the introduction. I was just kind of laying back, hopping in these comments. I'm being a keyboard warrior right now. Thank you for your
Hello,
time.
uh,
Thank
as as my significant other would say, you trolling.
and is. I'm gonna talk about them. I'm gonna talk about them. I think they just sitting back, waiting to see what somebody else gonna say. But these topics, like you say, they're hot. You got to be careful when you're handling them because you might get burned. I think they scared of that hot grease.
Okay, well, you play with it, you will get towed up. But I pray that everyone will come on and look at this as an opportunity, especially for you ladies. Now, I don't mind you going to go get your husband or your fiance that's in his own house, in his own room with his own key, and you text him and say, baby, because y'all play too much. Let me go ahead and get on y'all right quick. You live in fiancés. Me and mine, we engaged now, and we've been engaged since 2020. Hashtag it was feasible for us to live together because we couldn't afford to be separate, and we figured if we was gonna die, we was gonna be together, and and so we ain't managed to move our stuff off from under the same roof, even though new last names are still promising. We've learned a lot about each other, we've grown closer, and I just really thank God for blessing me with this individual. Yeah, but that paperwork ain't came through yet. That maybe y'all want to hear a story. Of course, y'all want to hear a story. I always got a story to tell. Y'all rate my storytelling. Do I always tell a story, Miss Catherine? I'm always giving story time.
Stories. You always got a story, and they always good. So I'm gonna pull up my teacup and sip on it while you tell your story.
Okay. So we got to get our numbers up for me to tell this story, because this is a story that I'm not going to drop any names about this unless y'all already know. Then you already know, unless you don't heard me give commentary on this before. But I'm not going to name drop. I know that's not like me, because I usually name drop, because you know what you gonna do. You did it. You know. I don't know. I might name drop. I don't know. Depending on how you know.
Hashtag you know who you are. The person that stopped commenting real fast. Look.
But this person, now I can't say that this person don't follow me, because they have in the past. But I unfollow. I stopped following them because I started dreaming about them. I started, you know me, I go deep in your business. I be all in the seat of your man drawers, and I'd be like, yo, listen, let me tell you how many people I just saw. And so, you know, that could make you feel some kind of way, that is somebody out in these handy streets that know your business. And I'm integral. And this is not a lack of integrity with me telling y'all this. And because the reason why I'm telling you this, because if you knew who I was talking about, or if I gave you the name, you could go look up the interview. That's how it's out there. So I'm not telling you nobody's business, because this person's business is already in the business. Okay. Now, I will say this for the sake of, you know, bringing up people's, you know, tea bags. This happened some years ago. However, you know me, that fruit still be hanging from that tree. So, you know, I don't know if you still sipping on it. But I said that this, and the reason why I'm about to tell y'all this real quick, so I'm gonna give y'all a short edited version. But the reason why I'm saying this is because I initially said about you living in fiancés. You live in fiancés. This is redunculous. Now you say, well, AP, you know, did you and your husband live in separate houses before you got married? No, we was not in separate houses when we got married. That's why it was expedient that we got married. Yes, have I had premarital sex before? Yes, that's how I knew I wanted. No, just playing. Yes, I did.
What a grace at Jesus. Oh, it's about to be one of them hot topics. Let me flatten out this collar and sit up.
Thank you, Miss Catherine. You know what? Miss Catherine will roll down on that big wheel. I'm gonna get on to the story and stop talking about me. See, it's easy to talk about other people than yourself, but you know me, I've been told on my whole family bloodline. Now everybody be like, listen, well, let's go talk about our business. But I said that to say AP has y'all just nod with me. If you in your area, just nod. But anyway, so this lady, this young lady, she's a little bit younger than me. But she was, you know, she had been married, she's been divorced, she has a child. And so, you know, she was, you know, on this journey of self-finding, self-getting self and self and self and evolving into one's greater self. And this is some of her verbiage. And, you know, she has a ministry as well. And she was just going on and on and on and on and on and on and on, you know, and teaching other women about, you know, keeping yourself, you coming first, you know, you being your best self, your powerful self, all of these things. Oh, no, the Tarver girls, no, they keep their ears up. My kids know more tea than I would ever tell y'all, because, you know, I'd be talking to the me and them. I talk to the me and my girls. So, and my children get the unedited version of their mother. So when they alone in their room and they start staring at these walls in the back of their mind, they hear their conscious call. You know what I'm saying? When they hear them rhymes from, I want them to know it ain't you. It's the mama in you that's talking. So I got to defend myself in these kids. But so she was just going on and she was just teaching, you know, other women how to value yourself. Look at Miss Kendra, I had to try for about. Oh no, it was. Oh, let's be clear. See, let me go ahead and talk. Let me get back on me right quick. Cause see, Miss Kendra said had to try before I buy it. No. Let's be clear. See, unlike most females, Unlike most females, they get tried before they get by. She was already bought with a price. He just didn't get to bring it home right away. So he was, still sitting on the lot. He still had to bring in some other paperwork, but it was already, and we know, he was, Mr. Tarver, he couldn't go to the candy lady and get bubble gum right without getting that business. But yeah, we was young and dumb. We was young and dumb. We was young and dumb. We say stupid stuff now, but we was young and dumb. Yeah, but that's enough of that. Back to this other lady business. So I'm not fooling with you, Miss Kendra. So she's teaching these ladies how to value themselves. She gives great content. She does all of these things. She cool people. I don't have no problem with her. But this is where the train went off the tracks for me. This is when Dawn met the road. This is when I took all of her intelligence and her brilliancy and her beauty and all that, and it turned to ashes for me. You know what I'm saying? She met this guy, he was promising. He was all those things that I guess she thought she wanted in a man. What? I don't know, to each his own. But this is where, just because you're born again, and hear me, ladies, just because you're born again, you don't have to throw away your street sense. You just can't work them streets like you used to. But that don't mean throw away your street sense. That don't mean throw away your street sense. Okay? So the lady, she's teaching, these other ladies. And the reason why I keep bringing up that she's teaching is because of this. You are teaching people and people are following you. People respect what you have to say. That's just like, I teach y'all. I come on here, I share, y'all ask me questions. I counsel you. I do all sorts of things with people, right? Just to see me publicly do something stupid that could have been prevented if I followed my own game that I give y'all. Right? Okay, that's my whole point. Not saying that you're unreproachable, that you can't have a dumb moment out here, because life happens. Life happens, and you can't control nobody else's actions in that sense. I'm not saying that, because somebody could do something stupid on my end. Now, I hope all the cameras are on, because I'm finna nut up. But we ain't talking about me. We talking about her. See, angels have to come get me out of jail. Look at that. Shake it, Jesus, shake it. But so back on her. And listen, keep up with my time, Miss Catherine, because I ain't going to tell you folks no story. So she's teaching how to be the best self, their authentic self, reevaluating yourself and your mind, and getting your life together, putting you back together after you've been broken by a man, or she was really getting into how a narcissistic man manipulates and operates, and get into your life, into your head, and all these things. You know what? A narcissist wouldn't do well with me. I heard about narcissists, and I've seen them up close, and we get, anyway, we're not talking about me. So back to her. So she was going on and on and on and on. So she met this guy. She was keeping it on the hush. And then next thing you know, she get into this relationship with him. She's like, I'm saving myself. I just want to, if I'm giving myself, it's going to be to my husband, a man of God. So this man was a man of God. He was a preacher and all of this. So he moves her to the city that he stays in. He gets her own apartment. He's paying the rent there. He's paying the utilities. He making sure she has her groceries, all her necessities and all of this, and she can keep her own money. And so he's making sure that she has breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack. He don't come over to her house. None of these things, she's doing her own thing, but he's showing her that not only can I provide for myself, I can provide for you. She was going to be a bonus mom because he did have, I think, 1 or 2 children or something. Don't quote me on the number, but who cares? And so, this is how the relationship is going. And so he's just really wooing her in. She's like, yes, he can do this, he can do that. And so this went on for about a year. That he was, yeah. So, tell me we like snacks. We do. Embassy women love to eat. We do. And so he's going on and whatever. So they're engaged. She's over to his house. He invites her over. And it's like for dinner. And so he invites her over for dinner. He cooks, she's eating or whatever, and they're talking. He's just really telling her how he's just excited about marrying her and their new life that they're going to start. I want to name drop because I could just pull the video. You know, y'all pull a video in and then we watch it and get a commentary. That's really what I want to do right now. But I'm not going to do this because anyway. So he's talking to her and she's talking, they expressing or whatever. Now remind you, he's a preacher. He's a pastor. And they ain't saying this to shade pastors or whatever, but hey, they out there. So he's talking to her or whatever. And so he turns around and however deep this conversation goes, because you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I've been in some conversations with my husband that if I didn't have the street game that I have, he would have got me too. My husband would have got me too. I'm married to this man and my husband be about to get me. It be times that man do get me. And I be like, you know what? I feel like you just got me. You just ran straight game on me. But that's okay. That's okay. So anyway, he running this storyline down to her about, you know, getting married. They're so excited and, you know, and I guess they really feeling each other in this moment or whatever. And, you know, the atmosphere shifted to a whole demonic side, you know, the angel of darkness on, you know, posture himself as the angel of light to this man said that, you know, if he could, they would get married right away. And I remember my husband telling me that. I remember my husband telling me, because I told my husband, you know, we were going to be playing these premarital sex games no more. And that, you know, until new last name popped up, that it wasn't going to be nothing. And so I remember my husband coming to tell me, he's like, you know, if we could get married right now, tomorrow we would. But my husband proposed to me New Year's Eve and the courthouse was going to be closed the next day. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I took that proposal and still kept, you know, Wonder Woman to herself. Hold on. Let me look back over that night and make sure I'm telling you. Give me a minute, y'all. Yeah, I kept it to myself. I just had to make sure.
Okay, receipts.
I had to be like, wait a minute. Let me check. Let me fact check myself right quick. So anyway, kept Wonder Woman to herself. And so we went back on her. So this man right here said in the hole, said, oh, y'all check with me. Y'all good. Hey, y'all good. Go ahead and put them comments. Hey, y'all good. They good, Miss Catherine. They good over there in the book club. Oh, we in the book club? I shouldn't be telling this story.
We're in the book club. We're in the book club.
Okay, because I shouldn't be telling this story if I ain't in the book club.
Oh, wait a minute.
Mommy, I'm up here.
Not in the book club. Y'all not gonna get the rest of this content.
It's on WODD, but
Miss. Okay, y'all, we're gonna put a pin in our storyline. If Miss Catherine ain't gonna verify that we're in a book club, I can't tell y'all this story. This is a book club content only.
Yeah, it's public, AP. We on the WODD public page.
Oh.
Kamai said she in the book club. She watching from the book club.
Well, due to the nature of our platform,
we're not. Okay, we are. Okay.
All right, y'all. Well, and I'm finna take my own business off the street.
We'll wheel that back in.
Forget that. I'm finna get y'all the rest of this story. So, like I was saying,
chop it up.
So he's finessing this whole situation, and she's liking it. He dropping out, she picking up gobble gobble goose goose, and he tells her that, you know, if they could get married right away, they would. So if I remember the storyline, you know, correctly, it's the weekend. She comes over for the weekend, and he said they would go to the courthouse and, you know, and then prepare for the ceremony ASAP. And she was like, yo, you know, so she take that as goose. He get up, because he just can't wait. He began to tell her, the significance of marriage and what it really means and how marriage is brought about or whatever. And he go get his Bible. He go get his Bible that he's performed many ceremonies with. He's married other people. He go get his Bible, y'all. And he turns around. Y'all better get these numbers up. Y'all don't share it. Let me see how they share it. They don't share it, Miss Catherine?
There's plenty shares.
So he turns around, he go get his Bible, he come back and he performed their own ceremony. He performs their own ceremony. He marries them. Now, my husband did some wonderful things in the privacy of our own room that if it had been true, it would have been great. He turns around and he marries them according to his doctrine. According to his doctrine. And they got married that night. And then they went upstairs and consummated the marriage. All weekend. Now, this is a new type of dumb for me. Because I've been in some dumb places and spaces. I've been in some dumb places and spaces with my husband. But my husband ain't never tried me like that. They go upstairs and they consummate this marriage that happened downstairs in his living room. This Saturday. And then Sunday come along. I don't know how they feeling about church and Jesus saying that he a pastor, she in ministry, you know what I'm saying? But they married. Courthouse open up Monday. Monday comes around. He going off to do what he got to do. She going off to do. Okay, 16 shades of stupid. Okay. She going to do what she got to do. He going to do what he got to do for the day. You know what I'm saying? Y'all married now. She called him. He don't answer the phone. First of all, that's when I would have just went on ahead and I would have went on ahead and went down to the county jail and put my credit card on file and told them I'd be back shortly. I would put my credit card on file. I would have went on ahead and got me a locker. Be like, can you go ahead and put my purse and stuff in the locker? Just speaking for me. Say she talking about herself. And so he didn't answer the phone. She started texting him, didn't get no text messages or whatever. So then they finally did meet up or whatever and talk. And so she was like, when we going to the courthouse? And he was like, I know, right? Pre-bail myself exactly. And I'm going to need to sit there for a minute. I'm not going to even check myself right out. I need to sit there and think on some things. I need to be there. I need to go ahead and start this ministry while I'm in here. I just need to sit here for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I need to put myself in timeout. I'm going to consecrate myself and separate myself from the world. So they meet up and they talk and whatever. She's like, we going to the courthouse. He's like, no, we just need to wait and, and just wait for the ceremony and this, that, and other. So long story short, you know what I'm saying? He hustled her with a couple of Bible scriptures or whatever. And Wonder Woman came out the phone booth or whatever. And so to make matters even more crazy, he turns around and just straight cut her off altogether. He go on his social media page, his Instagram page, his Facebook page, everything. He say this chick crazy. She's stalking him. She's saying they in a relationship and they not. Hashtag, he got another female who he give his last name. He get married like 2 months later to this other lady. This particular chick that I'm talking about, she walk up in the church where they at and she just go slap off or whatever. And she go live from her Instagram page. See, this is what I'm telling y'all, because this stuff already in the streets or whatever. I'm just not name dropping. But if I told y'all the name, y'all can go pull this stuff up. And so the whole thing behind this storyline is this. The reason why she got like that is because she wanted to. You would say, AP, how she wanted to. When you're led away by your own lusts and desires. You wanted this thing to be true and so real that you had sex with somebody who performed a ceremony out of their own Bible in the living room. Now, I don't know if this was back in maybe Abraham day. I could have got down with it. If this was Abraham, I could have got down with it. I really could have. If this had been Moses and Zipporah, I could have got. If this was baby, this could have been David and Abigail. Because the Bible say, and then David took her to be his wife. And well, David was still out there in the warrior streets. And so he ain't been nowhere to, for no ceremony. So she got that cave action and she became Miss David, and he authenticated that thing once he mounted that throne. Let's be real clear about it. As a matter of fact, David was saying out there in the woods, telling one of his boys, go get my other wife, the one that was promised to me, Saul's daughter. When I took Goliath's head, I want her to be waiting on me. Go get her. She finna lay up out here in the woods with me. If it had been Brother David, this story wouldn't be so bad. If it had been David. Because I'm just saying. So the whole thing is she was upset. She said he did her wrong. He lied to her. He's a narcissist. He manipulated her. And I was like, I don't see the manipulation there. I really don't, because you saw every single sign and you ignored it because you wanted the fantasy to be real so bad. You wanted this to be true so bad. Because I call these, I'm not, when you are a female or male, but we're talking about females right now. When you're somebody who's obsessed with attention from social media, and you're out in that spotlight, you like the attention that you get from other women praise you. They think, you the standard model of a female. You teaching all these seminars and courses and writing books, telling women how to be their best self. And you're literally helping women up out of bad situations. So you got some receipts. It's just, you ain't bought none of that for yourself. You haven't ate on it long enough for yourself. And I'm going to tell y'all this. That's why you need to vet out the people that you follow, because some people might be in the beginning stages of what they're coming into. And so they get out there and start serving it to people prematurely. And then you turn around and you get into that part of that process where you haven't been developed yet, where you're not ready yet. And you can fall real hard in these streets. Why? Because you're out in the spotlight. So you need to be tested, tried, proven, and true. You need to already be vetted. And this is why you need to be submitted to somebody else already, preferably another older women. Like, I don't have young women who, I'm not accountable to young women. I'm accountable to older women. Like the women in my life, these women's up in their 70s and 80s, and they can fight. Like they the type that, I'm like, listen, ma'am, I respect you, but and my spiritual mother, she in her 60s, she'll get with me. So I have respect for them, and I have respect for their platform and their name and the anointing and the calling on their life, that I don't want to embarrass them, seeing that, so I said all that to tell you need to have some accountability. But that just took me out. And but that's my story behind you living in fiancés. Y'all stop living in, okay? Because you'll forever be living in, and then he'll be living in, and then in just be in, and But anywho, you could go ahead, Miss Catherine. You like my story?
I did like your story. Because there's a lot of females that use that same lie, nothing else to really call it, but tell themselves that in my heart and in my spirit and in my soul, I just feel it in me. We're already married, or this person is already divorced. This person is already yada 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 yada.
Now I'm gonna need you to go back on that one. He already divorced. He separated men that's living with women or vice versa, or whatever, or just, oh, we soon as I settle this and we gonna get married, but he never settles this. And what is it now? I said I've been in some places and spaces, but I ain't never, because my husband ain't never been married before, and I ain't either. I would have been in jail at 15. Look at that. But yeah, what do you think about women in relationships with married men? And now let's be clear. It is obvious that they're separated. They're not physically living there because they're physically living with you, but you know that they are married. She still has legal rights to all that you think belong to you. She still carries this man's last name. I mean, she can call and say a sequences of words that can change that man's whole life, and he is obligated to get up and walk out that door. But he has a promissory note around your neck, around your finger, saying that he gonna marry you as soon as he can get psychopath. Because she always got to be the psycho. She always got to be.
We know she's crazy. We know it.
Right. So she did not divorce it. Go on with what you saying, Miss Catherine.
I mean, it's real. It's real, and it's not even a realistic expectation of the way that thing is going to turn out. And you always have the one or two that'll say, well, he did divorce her and he did marry me, and you still dealing with the results because you got all that crazy that she released. So, and you did a live on that one time. The spirits that are contracted through sex from one relationship into the next, and you just lay yourself down with everything that he left behind and aka carried along with him to you, and start a family with that, run a whole new bloodline with that. You got 3-4 different mixtures of bloodline coming and producing kids with that mess. And you deal with the consequences, and we don't really think about it until you get the teenager and you think, how does this boy act like his crazy behind ex-wife?
Mm-hmm.
If you even get that far. But we still in the stage of at home. We still at home. He's still married. It's really disrespectful to self. It really is. It's so disrespectful to self and to the other woman, who you're not giving a chance to clear her own name out the street. I mean, she probably still trying to tell the public how this man did her. And you laid up with this man, and and a lot of and they be taking care of somebody else, taking care of somebody else's kids. Man.
They do. They will. And this goes both ways. So for you women who are saving yourselves for your husbands, keep saving yourself for him, because if he's that guy, he's well worth the wait. If I knew what I knew today, even though me and my husband still, end up getting married as soon as we were old enough, I would not have had sex with him. Because a lot of the issues that me and my husband went through in our marriage was because we were having premarital sex with each other. And so that contamination of spirits and those same rules apply to us. We was no different than anyone else who, would have those issues. Just because you end up marrying that person doesn't negate the consequences behind it. So I would have not. So for all you women and all you men who say, well, yeah, we're going to get married, you're in love with each other, and you do get married, hear me and hear me well. You need to repent. Miss Catherine over there being on her baby.
Oh, Lord, we live.
She didn't hit that camera, y'all. I got to pull on. She didn't hit that. She should have hit that camera, and I wouldn't have had to say that. But because I'm on here, and I'm a witness to, I saw what that lean meant. I was just telling y'all about prophetic wisdom Sunday. You ain't gonna catch me. I gotta tell them, y'all. Miss AP gonna be faithful and true, so I gotta tell them. So anyway, back to telling on me. And so I said all that to say, you have to be careful, because the enemy wants to get in any kind of way he can. Any kind of way he can. Spirits don't care. Spirits don't care. If spirits can't stop the union from coming together, they will surely, surely, surely try their best to taint it, to where that thing barely get off the ground, or it takes so long for quality fruit of what God intended for that marriage to be, to come together. If the enemy can get in and at least get him about 2 or 3 crazy kids out the marriage before God just really take over the situation, then he good with that too, because it might promise him some grandkids or something. So what I'm saying is, you really do have to be careful with this premarital sex, and I know it's frowned upon, to be a virgin nowadays. And I have 5 sons, and I'm looking forward to them being married. But we're gonna have some examinations. We're gonna have some. I mean, I could tell if you a virgin or not, but I want everything to be pure and chaste. And you know what I'm saying? I want to check the secretion of your eyeballs. I just want to know, because he and mine's gonna be virgins too. I don't believe all this, males get to do them while females sit at home and be trained and domesticated, and all of these things, why you go out and have all these experiences, that's going to be detrimental to your mental, emotional, physical, and financial well-being, along with another female. I think that is crazy, which will bring me into the next phase of my subject, is this. Men are having all these sexual experiences, and then you turn around and get you a woman who has not been with a man. She has not known a man. And some men, not all men, but enough men, think that she is your dry erase board. You're about to etchy sketch you this one particular woman. You're about to build you a woman from all these experiences you've had. And she don't know no better. She don't know you crazy. And and you want her to do this, and you want her to do this, and be all this, be it in the bedroom, in the kitchen, in the garage, whatever it is, whatever you think you want, you're trying to, fulfill it in her. And when she's not enough, because she's not going to be enough. Why? Because she's not those women. She's not the sum total of those experiences that you had. And if you don't admit that you were wrong and that was a sin, and repent from it, and be healed and delivered from that, those behaviors and cravings will be at work in your marriage. And that woman will, and this is vice versa. Now, this works both sides of the aisle. She will be trying to figure out why he's never satisfied, or why when I do this, it only lasts for a short period of time. And because she has nothing to compare it to, and and because on her family side, they gave the straight out the bubble wrap, the can wouldn't even pop. So we don't know what's going on with him, and and all these different things. And maybe he's having work issues, maybe he's dealing with the cares of life, and growing up being a man, and having a family, whatever they write it off as. But what's really happening is that your lust and desires, the undertone, is what's starting to get loud within a marriage. And you're going to have to sit down and have a real conversation with your wife and say, you know what? I was beating it down in them streets so much it's hard for me to be satisfied. And it's not you, it's me. And I don't know what to do. That would be the intelligent, responsible thing to do, so you can get counseling. This is where premarital counsel come in, because a quality counselor should have picked up on that. And then you say, well, that stuff doesn't matter. Now, it has its place where it doesn't matter, but then it has its place when it does, because the don't matter piece is this: we're going to get married. We're going to be together. It's not enough to keep us from getting married, but let's make sure that you have had enough time to be purged, and, you got some things in place that's going to work together for our good, because, you're no longer physically there, but you're emotionally there, So I think that these are conversations that should be had. And, and they say, well, do body count matter? I look at body count as your reproductive system. I look at body count as your reproductive system. If you have a low count in both departments, you're never going to be able to produce anything, because you're giving it all away. And if you want to have a family, it's going to be hard to have a family. If you want to have a family, it's going to be hard. If you got low egg count, if you have low sperm count, you don't ovulate every month, and his swimmers swim in circles and backwards, they can't make a full lap. Go ahead, Miss Catherine. I'm gonna stop talking about people.
No, I mean, you're keeping it real. I want to run back to something that you said about this bloodline and about, because I said something like a couple of weeks ago that we have to normalize looking at who we are yielding our family over to, our future over to. We have to normalize asking people, and you know what? Every other culture already done normalized it. What do they mama do? What do they daddy do? What their kids look like? What they've been doing all their life? What's their last name? Did she got sharp canine teeth? Because apparently canine teeth mean they was eating meat back in the caveman days, so they must have been living high on the hog in the cave.
That's true.
Other cultures have normalized it, but and like you said, seriously, we have to inspect and we have to begin to think about what we're reproducing.
Mm-hmm.
And what's already done is done. Get out your feelings. But begin to work on the future of your lineage, your bloodline, your heritage, what you're building, and what you're building for Christ, because you're building hosts. You're building hosts for the Lord Most High. And you do want the best of the best. And why is it that we're so offended by saying, I want the best of the best for my family, for my daughter, for my future? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times daughters even get offended, with parents that, look in a little closer. You don't know him and you don't know me and what we've been through since the 6th grade. Honey, both of y'all failing. We need one smart gene.
Just one.
Just one. Both of y'all failed the 6th grade, the 7th grade, the 8th grade.
But that's good. And I'm glad you brought that up, because we think that in the kingdom culture, Jesus is enough to rid us of all of our bad decision making, and the rooster isn't going to come home. And that's not true. We allow, people, let me go ahead and take myself out of this, because my group, no, we don't court, we don't date, we don't do none of that. We don't waste our time with folks. If that's not who the Lord is saying yes to, neither are we. We just don't do it. And I have children that's of age to get married. It shouldn't be, because, but I have children that's of age that if what people would consider to be dating and doing all these, crazy things or whatever. But it makes no sense. Why would you want to share your emotions, your time, experiences that's the first time for you, yourself, and you don't even necessarily have to be having sex with anybody? Why do you want to give those things away? It's like, it makes absolutely no sense at all. And one of the most valuable things that I can testify for being married over 20 some years is that majority of everything my husband and I have ever done together was our first time together. Why? Because we were 15 and 16, but we entered into adulthood together. So we literally finished growing up together, and just all of our adult life, finishing off our teenage years, going into adulthood. And so everything that we did was for the first time together. So he didn't have this group of experiences, then I had this, and then we're trying to see how we make these things work. We found out what didn't work just because of our personality, and what did work, what we was willing to, compromise and bend on. But not because, he lived this one life and I lived this one life, and then we met and all those different things. And so that has its place when you're not experiencing that. Now, that didn't mean I ain't had no street sense. Let's be clear. I knew how to do what I needed to do. My point is that if you're spending your time dating different people, having all these different emotional experiences, all these sexual experiences, all these fantasies, your soul is being impacted by that. So by the time you get with a man, by the time you get with a woman, all of those experiences are bringing themselves on the table to see, will you satisfy me? Will you be greater than the experience that I have? Will you be the sum total of all that I have experienced? Will you be able to fulfill my inner fantasy? Will you be able to, top the last person that I was with? Are you going to be faithful to me? Or are you going to do what the last person that, man, I went there, don't know these folks. Who we talking about? And because we've had these lifestyles, these wild lifestyles, and we think because we was young, it doesn't matter. And so we just say it doesn't matter. We love each other. We love Jesus. And now we all going to come together and just be this happy family and move forward. And that's not the case. That is not the case. Why? Because the Lord still has to deal with the sin that we released out of our bodies, that we released out of our beings. Those consequences are going to come back home. Just because you're married now, just because Jesus, and now that puts you in a better situation, come consequence day. But let's be clear, it's coming up, and I'm talking from experience. It is coming up, but now you have the wisdom and the intelligence and the boundaries that's needed to keep you from going overboard, because some consequences is going to be isolated to your spouse, but you still got to watch them go through, and it might be unfavorable, or it might even be a turnoff. It might even be a turnoff, because now you have to see how they respond to that thing and how open they are to communicate with you or what they're going through. And sometimes you won't even know that what your spouse is dealing with is consequences from activities that they've had with other people. And this could be sexual, this could be business, this could be just their family relationship. All sorts of things carry consequences that people bring into marriages. And so you don't know why hell breaking loose in your house. Your spouse could have been in a relationship with somebody that had judgment on their life. And if they had encountered somebody and they don't contracted some of that judgment, and now they don't ran off and married you, and now them crumbs falling back home. And so we have to be careful how we mix and mingle and interact with people. We really, really do. But nobody's teaching us this. It's all how you feel, what you want, what you're trying to experience. And now you don't found your boo thing. We finna get married, do this thing, and we finna show these people in the streets how to live our best life. And you get had. You get had. Yeah. And now you need yourself a ES. And I'm here for all that. I'm an essential session you all together, and y'all gonna be well for it, or we're gonna have to hear the hard truth. It is what it is, but I'm here for all that. I'm anointed to deal with them. Amen. And so when it comes down to the sexual relationship, you're dealing with two different components of sexuality that you're trying to merge together to give you an experience. But you don't even realize that there are spirits in the background trying to compete in this sexual experience that you're trying to come together and have with your spouse. Because let's be clear, all spirits, don't like your spouses. So a lot of spirits are jealous. They hate the fact, they don't care that you got married. They just don't like the fact that you got married to her. I don't like her. And since don't nobody know I'm here, but all who can see spirits. So these spirits with your spouse talking trash about you, and your spouse like, why I keep having these nasty thoughts and these funky thoughts about my wife? Well, because the spirits that is attached to your life don't like your wife. And so you have not separated that. The reason why when your spouse walk by and a certain pair of pants, you call her old funky ... That's that spirit called, every time she try to cook you your favorite meal, you nitpick and find something wrong. And that's not even you, but you don't know that it is a spirit that is present at that dinner table that is giving commentary on this dish. And you don't know why you can't get into her cooking. And it ain't even that she cook better than your mama. Your mama can't cook either. It's just that you don't know why. And so these spirits, will go back and forth in a marriage, making sure that it doesn't work, because the spirit don't like that person. But that's a whole nother how spirits operate. But yeah.
Well, in this last 10 minutes, AP, don't leave porn out, because porn competing too, and porn says she need a voice in the marriage too. So don't leave porn out. Make sure we got previous spouses, divorcees, premarital sex. Who else we got? The baby mama, baby daddy, girlfriend, They failed the 6th grade, still got married, kids done. God bless them, pray for them.
We got the people who get married in their own living room.
Yeah. What scripture was it, y'all?
You know it was Corinthians. So about the porn piece. Now, I never could understand porn from the sense of what's the jump off on that? What's the jump off on watching other people have sex? This just AP thinking how, I thought I don't want to watch people have sex in real action. I don't want to watch people kiss. But to watch porn. But anyway, as it relates to porn, whether the individual watch porn by themselves, you know, or if it's a thing, because some couples got, a porn fetish together. But men or women, because women watch porn too. Women watch porn too for certain reasons, not necessarily because of the men, but because of what they think that a man wants. And so they're trying to see, well, what is it about porn that men like? And maybe I could take some tips or whatever. And I did a live about this over 4 years ago. You had to be on there, yeah, it's a part of that too. But watching porn is degrading to oneself on a whole nother level. You self-abuse when you watch porn. It's like you're being mentally raped and molested by strangers who could care less about you as a viewer. And taking the most intimate moment of yourself and displaying it with random people, because mind you, these people don't know each other. They getting paid to do this. They about zooted in these rooms and spaces anyway. And so watching porn and seeing them have sex, or multiple people having sex with each other, and you would sit there and watch that and take in that content. And first of all, to be Mighty Mouse and think that you could do the same. You don't. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that alone. Y'all have to come on a whole nother. See it. I gotta remember. Can you remember when I'm talking and that thing about to go on? I'm about to let that train run into that dirt wall. You need to let me know I'm not in the book club. This that book club content. So men or women watching porn, or them watching porn together, is damaging to the marriage, because the people who you're watching have this disgusting sex with is desensitized to all sexual emotions. Like they making all these faces and noises, and if anybody making that blame much noise, need to be hitting the blame head with a lamp. I'm just gonna go ahead and be 100 with you. If you gotta make all that blame noise, I've been gonna beat you in your head with a lamp. Like really, baby, I'm gonna need you to get on up and exit stage left. So they doing all of this, and they're taking this in, and they're feeding these spirits as well as their degenerated souls. You know what I'm saying? They're destitute on the inside, and this is never going to be enough. She's never going to be enough. He's never going to be enough. We never going to be enough. Like I said, the drugs that's involved, the sexual abuse that's involved, the money is never enough. You're still not able to live the lifestyle. Now I'm talking about those who are in the porn industry, not just those who watch it. I'm talking about the mindset and the trauma that these people go through. Yeah, they get on these cameras, they get in these rooms, and they think they act like they living their best life. But let me tell you, I have counseled men and women who was in the porn industry. I have counseled them. And when I tell you, they are the most miserable people you will ever meet. They are some of the most miserable, and you know what? And they are what you would consider good people. Like, they cool people, but they are so broken and damaged and desensitized from any type of emotion and feelings that I'm telling you, you are literally watching people molest and rape each other. That's what you're watching, because that's the type of trauma that they live in their minds. Like, they with total strangers, and the people who record is just as abusive to them. A lot, and you know, from the counseling sessions and stuff, and just even in my research, even the directors of these, you know, of porn, they are abusive. A lot of things, it's to them that's requiring them to go in these rooms to perform such acts on each other, and they make them get high and pop pills and drink and do all these things, you know, and they turn around and sexually abuse the men and the women. So it's a whole nother type of bondage and sex slavery. So they got the makeup on and they greased up and they got the nails in their hair and all this done. They got the music and they laughing and hee-haw, baby, but they crying on the inside, and they don't feel this stuff no more. They don't feel, some of these people just got to fighting and cussing each other out in backstage, and now they having to come together and do all of this to put on for the people on the other side who live in this fantasy. And like I told y'all, and what they do is baptize you in the demons that's on the inside of them. And so now you got a married man watching this dude or these dudes, you know, having sex with this woman, and she seemed like she enjoying it. He's doing, first of all, he's comparing himself to these men, and he feel like he don't add up. And so now he got all these measuring rod issues. Let's go ahead and be real clear, because men who watch porn, anybody who watches porn, you're not watching 4, 5, 6-inch porn. I'm going to use an edited number. You're not watching 4, 5, 6-inch porn. You watching 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and sometimes 15-inch porn. And so there's a difference between a stallion and a baby goat. And you married to the baby goat, but he's sitting here watching stallion porn. But he want to come in here and try to stallion you. And who can do I need to go ahead and set the sound effects up on my computer, because this is where Miss Adrian at. You know, she like little baby goats. She got little goats and stuff. This is why I need a goat to just make that little scream that goats do. I'm going to get me a little baby goat. I like little goats. I'm going to get me a little guinea pig too. And that's why you shouldn't watch porn. Little boys and little girls. You shouldn't watch porn, because it has an impact on your emotions, your emotions. And so now you're trying to live a fantasy out on somebody in real time, and they trying to figure out what's wrong with you. Or you could be sexually okay for them, but in your head, you think you need to be more. And then you causing issues in your marriage because you trying to live up to something that's not even necessary and that's not even real. You know what I'm saying? And it's not achievable. It's not achievable. Let me tell you one more time. Y'all go get for y'all who catch the replay, go get your spouses. Let me tell them for you, since you might not tell them. It might mess up your bedroom, actually. Let me tell them it's not achievable. And for a woman to sit down and watch this stuff and require it of her husband, that's dumb. That's dumb. It's not achievable. And so just bringing all this, mixed entertainment in, and then where is God in it? It don't take all that. It does not take all that. You could tell it got to be a whole demon behind those type of sexual activities if you think that's what it takes to satisfy you in the bedroom or wherever is it. It does not take all of that. And I remember the Lord showing me years ago how the porn industry started, and how the idea of recording somebody having sex became somebody's vision for porn. And it was during a time of sorrow and struggle where two people was in the worst situations of their life, but it was still, and this is what the man who was spying out on these two people called, that out of the detriment of what they were living, they still had the ability to come together and be aroused and stimulated and still had this love and affection for each other, no matter how bad it was. And he watched that. He was in a bad way too, but he was in a better position than they were. And these are two separate races. And he watched them, and the arousal and the stimulation that he had received from watching them triggered something in him. And he figured that if two people who are living these degrading lifestyles, they're in the worst place in their life, could still come together sexually and for that moment in time find some type of pleasure, and the pleasure that he felt while he was watching them, though he was spying on them from a distance, he figured if I could capture these moments on recording and share it with men of my caliber, because of the things that my kind go through. And that's how the porn industry was birthed. And when the Lord showed me that, I was like, wow, because I had been counseling a lot of married people who was dealing with porn, men who was dealing with their fetish with porn, women who was dealing with it, the side of it that they couldn't figure out why they couldn't sexually please their husband, this, that, and another. And so, of course, I got to go pray and figure out, what's going on with folks and why all this baby oil necessary. And so, that's how I get the backdrop into what was going on, because I'm the type of person, I can help you naturally. I can give you step A through Z and you will be all right for a limited time only. But I'm the person that want to get to the root of your problem. So I need to go sit down with God and see what you're dealing with. And I want to see the devils and the demons and the strongholds that has been erected up over your marriage, over your business, over your life, over your education, over your hairline. I need to know what's going on so I can come help set you free. And then if you're willing to cooperate and do the steps that's given, this, that, and other, then we can, be ye set free and made whole and delivered. That's me. Because I don't like wasting my time. And I don't want to deal with you with something you can go down to Walmart and get a prescription for and be all right. I'm just going to be honest with you. And so throughout that's how, I was able to counsel from a different level of wisdom and break into that and get people some real help and get these folks to turn these TVs off. Now you say, okay, I don't watch porn, but we make sex videos. That's nope. But we married. Nope. It's not of God. It's not scripture. But what we do in the privacy of our own bedroom, nope. Why do you need that? Well, my husband to make the video so when I'm not available to him, he can watch it, or, whatever the case is. Or why do you need, these types of things? Give no space to the devil. Give no space to the devil. I remember once again, here go another man. You'd be surprised that I counsel more men than I do women. I counsel more men than I do women, because men feel comfortable with talking to me and just open up. They like, man, I really feel like I could just tell you stuff I ain't never told nobody. Well, yeah, because I told you some stuff you thought didn't nobody know anyway. And you was planning on going straight to hell with that, but I'm bust you out. So now we got to talk about it. So yeah, you feel comfortable talking to me. So we talk or whatever. And this one guy, he was saying how he's divorced now. And he saved the sex tapes that him and his wife made. And he sit and watch. Now she's with somebody else, but he's always doing a comparison. When he go over to see his kids and his grandkids, because he's an older guy, he's like, yeah, I'm going to always be this and I'm going to always be that, because I know how she this and I know how she did that. And when I go over there, I be looking at him like, yeah, but I bet you ain't this. I bet she ain't doing that. He got too many receipts. And she don't even know that he has these things. And so he makes a sacred altar with this stuff on it. And he's sinning in his mind, because he was trying to figure out what was the problem with his relationship with the Lord, why it wasn't going, because you're sinning. You think because you're looking at sex tapes of a woman you was once married to when it was pleasing to God, that is okay. And you're sinning and you're wrong. And now you're violating her covenant that she's in now with what you're doing. And because of the strong connection and the soul tie that they once had, she has these connections and issues and these feelings and these memories. A man could be that closely connected to you, and though y'all are no longer together, he can summon those spirits up, and they will begin to mess with you in your dreams, begin to mess with him, and y'all be thinking about each other. Next thing you know, you run into each other, and you think, well, maybe we should be together. All these crazy, and it's just spirits just bouncing back and forth between that connection. And so you have to be careful with that. I'll tell you like this, don't make nothing you don't want your grandkids sitting down watching when you dead. How about that? Don't take no pictures and don't produce no videos that you don't want your grandchildren. Because see, your kids might be a little bit understandable. Grandkids can be unforgiving. Don't sit down and watch nothing, make anything that you don't want, your grandkids watching. Y'all this crazy stuff on your phone and you making all these videos and stuff. And then people lose too many phones. Folks, you lose too many devices to have this type of content circulating around on it. It makes no sense and it's not necessary. But so yeah, that's all I'm gonna give y'all for porn. Cause seeing that we're not on porn platform in a sense of where I could go ahead and bust that shell open, I'm gonna leave it right there, Miss Catherine. Y'all have to join the book club for that. And I know it's some book club members on here, but I'm talking about for the general audience.
Here come the laugh. Here come the laugh.
I can't.
Listen, for real. Just in case y'all missed what she said. Listen, you're watching this porn. And when it looked like these people enjoying themselves, the spirit of molestation and abuse and rape is what's really going on. And then you're baptized in that and begin to want to molest and rape your spouse. Don't run past that. Even the sex that you both consented to have will begin to turn into a rape session. You're like, ah! Don't run past that.
Yeah, because you want that abuse. You want that spirit want to have those feelings as well. And so you say, well, no, who does that? It's called rough sex, bondage sex, or in a certain part of it, people just want to get all wild and crazy or whatever. And anyway, we're not
in the book club. We're not in the book club.
If y'all want to get the backdrop on the bondage sex and the spirits that's behind the scenes that call for all of this, what we call rough sex, or if you the generation, whatever, from what that language was used, then you would have to get on the book club and request for it. So when I could jump on there and say what hot topic y'all want to talk about, y'all got to bring it up. Cause I go there with you. I ain't scared of none of y'all. Cause if you ain't anyway, I ain't on the book club because I was finna tell you something else. But yeah.
You have to join the book club for that kind of content. So for you first
with this goat, I'm gonna get that goat
to watchers that don't want to respond in the comments.
And I'm gonna let y'all know how you can is choking considered bondage and going to jail is too, because you reach over here and choke me. I'm sorry, you weren't talking about me. I mean, yes. I mean, it could put it like this. If you don't want nobody to reach down and grab one of your coconuts and squeeze it, what you gonna reach up here and put your hand around my neck for? And it ain't that good to you that you want to choke me. You got a blame problem. I'm gonna lean over and hit you in your eye. See, let me tell y'all gotta get some sex etiquettes going on here. Don't let porn and don't let these hot girl summers and these bad bunny videos make y'all think that somebody reaching over. And I know you just asked the question, Miss Kendra, but I'm just getting a little bit into my thought here. If you just sit in somebody's chair for 10 hours getting micro braids in, and your eyes bite up to this, and you go home, your husband like your hair, and y'all gonna be together later on in a moment, whatever. And he grabbed them micros I'm going to sit there right there. I'm going to sit there right there. You just got that lace front glued on. And he wanted to just grab that lace front. It's glued on, by the way. I'm going to sit there right there. You don't want to stump your toe. You don't want to hit a fresh nail set up against nothing. I'm going to sit there right there. I'm going to sit there right there. But as I was saying, y'all go ahead and get in the book club. And let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out. Just because AP knows what she's talking about don't mean she don't been tried like this. Let's put that out there.
Y'all don't think dumb thoughts about AP. Come on. Let's make it off of here with everybody surviving it. Okay.
But yeah, so and this is why you shouldn't run down the halls with knives, boys and girls. But yeah, but we can have healthy sexual relationships with our partners. Let me rephrase that, with our husband and wife, and not the ones that we marry ourselves to in our living rooms. But that, the Lord. I'm gonna go home and tell my husband, he wake up, we about to get married up in here. Get your Bible out. Woo. But the Lord has joined together. Let me text my husband and ask him, do he want to have a ceremony? He got too many kids for me to remarry. This man, he got too many kids now. That's more than a bonus, mama. 10 kids? All of them still at home? Now, I don't even want to date you, brother. You got too much going on. You busy. You busy. You big busy. I feel bad going out on a date with my husband. I'm like, you know what? You ain't even got to pay for that. I'll be thinking about to-go trays and everything. I'm like, your kids ain't, well, who at home? Like, I would not date my husband. I would feel sorry for him. I would want to take him somewhere like to get a massage or something, buy him a pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? Let me treat him. Because I know. Me and my husband would just make good friends. I wouldn't even. Yeah, man. Then I know he's fertile too. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Yeah, I couldn't date my husband. Not like, you know how if you meet people, I'm talking about the older me. And I met him and he was, she probably died or something. I wouldn't know what happened to the man, but I wouldn't know. Let me leave that alone. Folks, I don't know. But no, I wouldn't date I wouldn't fool up my husband. He got too many kids.
You got them women that just have to see about them babies, honey. They
not his kids.
They're special. They'll take the abuse. They've been watching porn all their life. Y'all better get in this book club. I think.
Oh, Chile. In the words of one of my daughters, put me in the game, coach. Miss Kendra said, put her in the game. I'm telling you. But you know what? If more women and men had these conversations within the body, you wouldn't have to sit on these platforms or listen to certain content. Yeah, though you get in the game, you need to know where game crossed the line with the Lord. Don't let your game violate the Constitution of Christ within you. Don't let your game that you're trying to get violate the Constitution of Christ within you. Because he said, I will walk in you, I will talk in you. You will be my people, and I will be your God. I will write my laws upon your heart. So we don't belong to ourselves. So you can't be out here in these streets getting all this content. How you gonna have the best marriage and the best sex life, and y'all gonna go out and create all this, that, and together. And you violating Christ. You violating Christ, because you are. And I wrote this in my book, How to Be Married to Two Men. That you are not the originator of marriage. You're coming to someone else's altar. You're coming to someone else's altar. What is an altar? A place of sacrifice, a place of dying. You're dying to you to become one with a deity that you supposedly are coming together with another servant of this deity to come together to procreate and to create a manifested lifestyle that's reflective of the deity whose altar that you're standing at. And you take these vows, these pledges, and then you think you're going to be out here doing your own thing, and that's not how that works. And then them spirits start to push in on you, and you're like, whoa, what's going on? Yeah, because you ran up on something that you wasn't prepared for. You was ill-equipped to deal with. And you thought it was enough to just, love somebody. You don't really love people like that for real. You really don't. The love that you think you have for your spouse the day you get married is not the love that you discover that you end up having, or the lack thereof down the road. Because the day I really, 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 really thought I loved my husband. What I was obsessed with my husband. I was a nut about my husband. I was crazy about my husband. I will run you over with your own car about my husband. I was obsessed with my husband. I was a whole... Let me tell you something. I'm going to bring to a quick backdrop. Then we're going to get off here. I'm telling myself a little bit. I was so into my husband. Now, once again, let AP go ahead and give y'all some street sense. I didn't say I was dumb. I was just the person that if my husband was over your house chilling and I wanted my husband to be home, I would just walk up in your house and get my husband and then knock on your door. That's what I mean by I was a nut. I'm the one that'll slide up on you and just look at you and you already know what it is. Game over. That's what I meant. Not that, I was silly. I was just, I pull up at your job and I need your boss to give you your check 3 days early. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was talking about. I remember, I ain't going to tell y'all. Y'all got to be in a book club to hear that. I got to get my husband permission to tell it, even though I know he don't care. He probably not already told before too, but I'll tell y'all the situation. But anyway, so where I was going with that. Now, I can't be crazy over these men now. Go on and get yourself an essential session and get free. Yeah, I was better off hearing about the lingerie and business, because I was going to talk to y'all about lingerie and business. My seat keep going down. Like, why she keep hopping up? But anyway, Miss Kathleen, you go ahead and get them last word. I hear my mic.
Amen. Amen. I just bless the Lord on tonight. Clearly, somebody needed this conversation, and just let it echo in the sound waves. Put the replay on and walk around and just.
But it needs to be talked about. The conversation need to be had. We need to be able to have safe places and spaces for men and women, especially young ladies, young men who want to get married. They need to hear it, because people think that they don't, but they do. And not so much to be mannish or anything like that. But baby, you in a real body with real emotions, real feelings, and you got to know how to rule over this flesh, because if you don't, it will be ruling over you. And you think because you got a marriage license that you got license to drive how you want to, and you don't know you getting all types of traffic violations, and the Lord gonna see about you in traffic court. That's what I'm trying to help you with. That's what I'm trying to help you with, to keep you about these violations, keep you from losing your license, being on suspension. That's what I'm trying to help you with, because it's real. Because being married does not mean whatever, however. No, it does not. As a matter of fact, God will be even more offended at our behavior, seeing that we are supposed to bear the seed of Christ. Do you think God wants you having all these activities going on in your body that has the ability to alter and feed your reproductive system, to alter and change your genetics, and then you turn around and now you're starting to have children, and now that foolishness is going into the baby, and now God got to deal with a 4-year-old hot box popping and cocking and hopping all around the place because you know you or your spouse thought it was cool to watch porn and do all this crazy stuff while you was pregnant. And I ain't gonna get on that flesh eating spirit, but you know y'all gotta be on over there in the book club. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. But yeah.
Amen. Amen. And you know, it's really unfair to be in a situation where marriage has just become legal rights to abuse one another, or just one spouse taking the abuse for years to come with nothing to say and no feedback, no backup, no receipts to say, hey, this is abuse. I don't like this. And it's so unfair to go through that, to live through that, and then still wind your behind up in hell. That's no fair. That's not.
That's dumb.
That's dumb.
Go to hell over some
bad sex.
If you gonna go to hell over a bark, you better own the forest, baby. But anyway,
they ain't got a twin.
I ain't gonna tell y'all what my grandma used to tell me. But anyway. Mm-hmm. But you know what, Miss Catherine? A lot of women suffer thinking that whatever is done in the marriages is acceptable to God because they're submitted to their husbands. And let's be clear, I don't want nobody to hear me unintelligently. Some things women could be putting out on the table to be done in a marriage that's not acceptable to God. But she perceives that, well, this is what men want. So this is what I've already geared myself up to do. And, you know, how I'm willing to behave within this union to let my husband know that he just got the baddest one up off the block. So let's be clear. You know, I want my reputation, though it's been isolated to you, I still want you to know that I'm known for XYZ. And not even knowing that, you know, it's not pleasing to God. Or you feeling like you in competition with the world in order to be his girl, you know, that one that, you know, he looks at. And so I asked a question in the book club about lingerie. You know, I don't even remember what I worded it as, but I asked a question about lingerie. You know, wearing lingerie. Do y'all wear lingerie? I don't know. But I was thinking about it. If you pull it up, Miss Catherine, and read it. So I don't misquote myself, because I've been on misquoted myself and got on down a whole nother rabbit hole because I'm quoting myself. But hold on, let me see what time it is before I start talking to y'all about some lingerie. I'll wait till Miss Catherine give me my pass. Is this happening? I know it's entertaining to y'all, but she said cannibalism equals abomination. Yes, and it is frowned upon in many countries. Yeah, that's what I call it. I call it the flesh-eating spirit.
Let me read this here from AP. AP said, is lingerie necessary in order to have a fire in marriage? Oh, in order to have a fire marriage? Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts? How do you view lingerie and your own appearance in it? How often should you wear it and when? Is there a limit on what kind you would wear? Should a man have a say-so about it? How did you learn about lingerie? Let's chat. Marriage 101.
Yeah, lingerie. Because you can walk outside and see somebody in lingerie now. You can go in, you can be out at Publix and see somebody walk by in lingerie, and that's their outfit for the day. It's not even as sacred as it used to be, you know. And women wearing lingerie is different now than when women used to wear lingerie back in the day. And what I mean by difference is, first of all, if you look at the origin of where lingerie come from, it was something that was whorish and slutty anyway. It was something that was provocative. It was something that, women wore in the whorehouses. That when men was tiptoeing down the street to go, play around, because certain things you just didn't bring. Come on, hear me though. Certain things you didn't bring home to the missus. Certain activities you knew it wasn't ladylike for a woman to do. So all this stuff that women deemed to be, being the baddest and being able to do this and do that, men back in the day knew it was indecent for a woman to carry herself like that in the bedroom, and so that was reserved for whores. And in order for them to get that part of their fantasy fulfilled, they would have to go down to the whorehouse where they could go get drunk and mistreat her body at. But then at home, and you say, well, because let me tell you, it was still mistreatment, because guess what? With your husband or their husbands at the time being down at the whorehouse, getting, all this entertainment, and then he come back and want to lay up on you and kiss on you, and then when he go to have sex with you, he transferring these spirits. So when you back at work, Mr. Now the Mrs. at home wondering why, she got all these wild fantasies and start having all these visitations and dreams. And then, she figured out with the milkman. And the milkman like, your husband leave you at home by yourself? I don't know where that came from, Mr. Bobby. You know what I'm saying? Well, so that stuff transfers. So you don't been on made the block hot by being out there, tiptoeing around, and then you come to drop off the evidence, and see you drop that stuff in your wife, and now she got stuff turning over in her insides, and she don't know why she waking up and doing all this crazy, but she know it's not ladylike. You know what I'm saying? But that's where the lingerie would come in at. And so I have my personal stance about lingerie, because I understand the origin behind it. Am I saying lingerie? Am I saying you shouldn't wear lingerie and different things like that? I'm going to put it out here like this. If you're going to wear it, own it. I'm of this mind right here. Until you can make your husband feel like, oh, dang it, I ain't in a book club, I got to hush. Oh, well. Unless he jumping up, running around that room talking about hearing a marching band. Man, I'm going to leave y'all alone. Now, y'all don't pay me for this. Well, Miss Catherine, we're going to
go ahead and get yourself an essential session. That is essentialsessions.deliverance@gmail.com, where you can see about your own personal situation in depth from the Lord, from an eagle's eye point of view. Amen. Amen.
Well, y'all, this is our time. It has been lovely. I have enjoyed you ladies, you young ladies, you older ladies, you in between ladies, and you men who are hustling on by your wife's devices. I hope I've helped deliver you to, in some shape, form, or fashion. And we're going to have to do a men's night. I'm going to have to do a men's night. Because I know I'll be about to do a men's night. For real, I'm help y'all men out. Yep. So anyway, y'all be safe out there. And it's getting cold, so you wear your lingerie. Make sure it's not flammable. I told y'all. Did I tell y'all about that? No, I probably did. Anyway, make sure it's flammable. I mean, not flammable, non-flammable. No. It's the most wonderful time of the year. So, yeah. And if you're married legally and not a living room wedding that only you and the other person was involved in, I bet that was an NIV Bible he was reading out of. I bet it could have been a King James, because she would have felt the conviction. And what I'm saying is this: make sure that you're not violating your covenant. And that don't mean, I'm telling you, that don't mean a boring sex life. See, that's the deception in it, that people think, well, man, if I can't do all you just named, we can't have no porn, and we can't, smoke it up, drink it up, cut it up, you know, freak it out and do all this off the wall in handcuffs type stuff. I mean, you just got to think about it. Do it, take all that. And they say, well, don't nobody want to be, this old boring routine or whatever. Well, then, listen, I can't help because you eat cornflakes for breakfast. I don't feed my man cereal, and neither should you. So I said all that to say, serve the man a hot breakfast. It's hot cereal. But my point is, when we open the book club and, we'll set up those other settings, that's why you ladies want to grab yourself a ticket to the Stilettos Luncheon that will be hosted February the 25th, 2023. You don't want to miss it. You're going to want to get your ticket. You want to grab your girlfriends and your sisters and your cousins and some of your nieces. And if you got daughters that's of age and you don't know how to have this conversation with her, go on, let me slide up on her and drop some real gems in that ear, That way she can be pleasing to her husband and the king. Because let's be clear. The Lord takes pleasure in us taking pleasure in doing pleasure his way, the right way. And I can drop some stuff on you. Listen here. All right, y'all be safe out there. Y'all make sure you get yourself a ticket, and we can't dive off the dresser. My grandma used to say something to me. She said, y'all can't be laying these guys. I'm going to use the guys because she didn't call them guys. Now, my grandma didn't call them guys. Let me just say that. And so you're going to have to fill in your own word. She said, but you can't be laying these dots. Jump yay high off of you, dive back in, and make your liver quiver. What my grandma used to say. And I used to wonder, because, see, man, my grandma used to talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, make your liver quiver. Like, how somebody make you? First of all, where he diving off of? And I was trying to figure out, well, how you stay still long enough for him to make the dive back? I mean, you can't be saying certain things to a young AP. Young AP, be trying to figure this stuff out in the mind. And she said, then they make your liver quiver. And I thought about what your liver was and where it's located. And I said, make your liver quiver. So needless to say, initially when me and my husband got married, anything that was leading up to my liver quivering, he was not allowed to. Because my grandma already told me. Oh, listen, you too excited in here. You need ain't nobody liver quiver. But anyway, honey, y'all go ahead and enjoy the rest of your evening. And don't be making, let nobody make you liver quiver. I guess my grandma's low-key trying to tell me, don't be letting them porn action you now. Don't be letting these men come and porn action you. Don't be letting these men come porn action you. Because if he got to do all that blame much moving around, and don't let these men porn action you. And I'm a whole prophet of the Lord. And I said it. Don't be letting these men porn action you. You ain't no porn doll. You ain't no porn star. And ain't no deposits going into your bank account like that at the end of that thing. Tell them, bag down. Pipe all that down. Don't be letting nobody porn action you. You're behind all hurt and carrying on and up there looking cross-eyed about a face. And it wasn't even that blame serious. Don't be letting nobody porn action you. Yep, I said it. You can requote me, put it on the reel, share it on TikTok. Don't be letting nobody porn action you. Because what's the excitement in that? What's the excitement in that? Who walk away with the victory in that? It took all that. That's where you get the disgust face. Hello. Take all that blame pounding and carrying on you. You can't even dribble a whole ball down the court, and you in here about to wear your
and can't.
Some of you wives, and y'all got some kids, or if you don't have kids, and you can put this on the air since he want to watch porn. You tell them, You might save all that action for your kids outside because you're going to need to play with them tomorrow. Slow it down. It's okay. Before you run off the tracks anyway, but you slow down. I'm going to tell y'all, we laying these men porn action, y'all, because a lot of women ain't hear me, and I ain't talking to the women who on here. But I'm telling you this, for y'all who going to catch the replay, don't be laying these men porn action you, because that will tear your body down. You hear me? Whatever he got going on in his head and whatever he trying to reach for is nowhere within you. He need to go get himself some help or something, especially if that's an ongoing thing. That is not normal. Your ego is bigger than your performance right now. And this job don't pay that well. I'm going to need you to back down. If you keep it up, you're going to be backing out. Don't be letting these men porn you. And you laying there trying to show somebody how you can take something. No, that's abuse. That is sexual abuse. Ain't what you doing with that? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And don't lay there and entertain that mess. Or stand there however you found yourself in the situation. I'm just saying. Miss Catherine.
Y'all got some book club action tonight. Y'all got some free deliverance. Amen.
Well, I mean, this my husband. If he don't get it from here, well, run on down there and get him a lock lizard. Cause Jesus ain't gonna sit there and tell you, take it, my daughter. This ain't Sodom and Gomorrah. No. And they ain't saying you got to lay there like Mary had a little lamb either now. But y'all don't pay me for that either. My point is, don't be doing that. Well, thank y'all. It's been lovely. Thank y'all for sharing y'all evening with me. And y'all be safe out there.